Hi everyone, I welcome all of you to this tutorial. Today I am going to show you how you are going to create a JPA enabled dynamic web project or a JPA enabled Java SE project. First of all, I am starting Eclipse over here. In the meantime, I am showing you the table that I will be using it to create the JPA entity. Here you can see that I have already created a table named employee with two columns, ID and name. ID is number and name is varchar. ID is set to primary key, so you can see it's not null. I will be creating first a dynamic web project. I am giving the name as JPA demo. Creating a new runtime, choosing Apache Tomcat as my server. The project is now created, but before we can use JPA, we'll have to do something else. And before using it, the most important thing is that I have to add the external libraries that we will be using for JPA. Since I am using Eclipse Link as the JPA persistence provider, so I will be using those jars. I have already extracted them. Copy these jars to my webinf lib directory. It's done. Now I am refreshing over here and checking if the changes are showing or not. Yes, it's showing now. Now I'll have to configure it so that it supports JPA. Going to the properties, I have to choose from here project facets. Here the project facets is, choose JPA from here, add some configurations. Since I am using Oracle and Eclipse Link, so I am choosing Eclipse Links 2.4. Added the libraries manually, adding the new connection, choosing Oracle from here, adding the driver, Oracle 11G thin driver, adding the jar, OJDBC6 is the required jar. Changing the properties, since my Oracle database is on localhost, so I'm changing it to localhost. And it's an Express edition, so I'm choosing it XE. Now adding the name and the password. Testing the connection. Connection is successful. Saving the password. Now our project is JPA enabled dynamic web project. Now I'll be creating our first JPA entity. Since our table name was employee, so I'm choosing the class name as also employee. Here you can see I am adding the two variables of the entity which are of the same name as the column name. Now choosing the ID as the primary key as we have done earlier in our database. Here comes our class. You can see over here there are no problems. So we have successfully created our JPA project with our first JPA entity. Thank you for watching our video. Good luck. Happy coding.